Welcome, dear friends who are joining us live on YouTube and on Facebook in our community. This is a session. My name is Shantam. I'm a volunteer and a guiding teacher at Ahimsa Trust in India that represents Thai Thich Nhat Hanh and his community here. And we've just finished a 10-week course on cultivating mindfulness from the 6th of August to the 6th of June to the 8th of August. And we had decided to do an extra session 4 weeks later, just to check on how people were doing. And we've been doing this in terms of a service to the community at this time of COVID pandemic, when many of us are sheltering at home. And the initial idea had been to actually set up a course as part of the Wake Up Schools movement for teachers, but then that got extended to the CRPF, which is the Central Reserve Police Force. It got other people from different walks of life came, as people from internationally want to join us, so from Seattle to Kyoto. And so this has been a great session for us, a community building effort in the last 10 weeks. And we are today in India, we also celebrate, interestingly, Teachers' Day. Teachers' Day is the 5th of September in India, and we are so grateful to our teachers, especially teachers like Thich Nhat Hanh, Sister Chan Khong, who we'll be meeting in a moment, and so many of our ancestral teachers. And we feel that we've completed this course, and then we opened this up. And I feel that it's a great honor for us to have Sister Chan Khong join us, one of our teachers, and also an old friend. Sister Chan Khong translates to Sister True Emptiness. It's a deep teaching, and she's offered to share some of her practices like deep relaxation, touching the earth or touching the ancestors within ourselves, and then also taking questions and answers, which we will both take together. And I know her, ever since I've known her, she's been so generous in giving and helping others, and indefatigable with her sharing of the Dhamma. And I feel she's like a living Dhamma talk.
I cannot hear you. I cannot hear you.
You cannot hear me, Chan Khong? Okay. Can others hear me?
I cannot hear you.
Okay. Can others hear me? Okay. Can others hear me? Okay. So
now I hear.
So
I don't know.
I'll carry on introducing her, and then I'll just see what I hope she can hear me.
You hear me? My name is Sister True Emptiness. Chan Khong, True Emptiness.
Yes.
Empty of a separate self, full of all of you, of the whole universe, of flowers, of trees, and wonderful things. Not wonderful thing is also part of myself. And I work in a and to live like a joyful symbol of harmony for myself, for the world. That's my introduction to you. And as you spoke a lot about Sangha, and I remember that my Sangha is not only first, my Sangha is my eyes, my ears, my nose, my tongue, and my whole body are my closest Sangha. I have to harmonize my Sangha properly about how to sleep, to walk. But I remember that, for a long time I've been exiled because I work for peace, and many government in different sides don't want to pay our picture. And now it's 3 years in a row that I have the chance to stay in Vietnam. And I have a new Sangha, funny, because I'm Vietnamese, I have a real new Sangha in Vietnam. Any wonderful thing. Quite different even among monastics, Buddhists, And mentioned that these last day we call them celebration, the continuation of our parents in us and our future generation in us. And traditionally, a lot of people offering some fruit, flower, everything for celebrating their mothers or their father or their ancestors. That I on this last my friend to write their love letter to their father or their mother and their sister or their brother, right? Lighten the candle in life of your. And so you live close to your mother, but you take it for granted, and you think that it's normal that I love my mom. But one sister told me the important thing. Her mom normally do not have a lot of food, but
So have we lost this Chan Khong, or am I the only one not hearing?
Shantam, she is not showing up on the screen.
Shantam, we are not able to hear her.
But she has come back.
Okay, she's come back.
Can't hear you very well, Sister Chan Khong.
Chan Khong, you're on mute, so you'll have to put your mute button off, and yes, and also
okay now.
and speaking.
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you well now. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you're looking lovely. Thank you.
So I remind that I have a sangha in India. Do you hear?
Yes, yes.
And that is why suddenly at the last moment, I didn't know that is the last session of the whole 10 session of practice of Ahimsa Trust. So I said, oh, I'm ready. Among Sangha, it's okay. Yeah. And then it's happened for today. But I intended because my Sangha is India, really. Because you know that my spiritual father is the young man Siddhartha Buddha Gautama, and I fell in love with him when I was a teenager, and I decided to do something great like him, following his path. But I look around me, Buddhism in Vietnam is so old-fashioned and do not reflect the perception I have about the teaching of the Buddha. And I decided to renew Buddhism by myself, set up a new order of nun, Buddhist nun or Buddhist practitioner, and for sharing everything update in order to help people to save their lives, save their families, save the planet Earth, save everything right away now, and not wait for next generation. And that is why I met with Thai. It's like a new of wind, fresh, so profound. But I said that Thai ordained me to be a nun, and it wait us almost 30 years in order ordination. Morangyana and Bhikkhuni Gautami Buddha, Gautami, mother of the Buddha, and I feel surrounded by and root Sangha. But now I am also in Vietnam. And during the whole my youth, I worked against the war.
So I think Chan Khong has gone off again, if I'm right. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll just invite one sound of the bell so we can just follow our breathing and be present. I think that connectivity is not very good at the Tihu temple. She's speaking from the main root temple where Thai is. Thai has not been very well since 2014, and Sister Chan Khong has been taking care of him along with many other brothers and sisters. So I'm just going to invite the bell, and then we'll see. Hopefully, she'll come back. Otherwise, we'll continue. I hope we'll continue. I'll contribute something. So just sitting with the stability in our body, where we are sitting on a cushion, on a chair, feeling the contact of your body on the ground, on the chair. And bringing our awareness to our breath, that fundamental bringer of life. As we breathe in, we become attentive to the in-breath. And as we breathe out, we are attentive to the out-breath. And letting this vehicle of life enter into the pores, into the cells of our body. And don't try and control your breath. Just let the breath stay as it is. Be attentive to it, but not reactive. And if thoughts arise, just bring your energy back to the breath, which allows you to concentrate on the breath, allows you to be mindful of the breath, and that allows you to bring the body and mind into the present moment. And we use that energy to calm our body. Feeling a sense of relaxedness in our body. And bringing that gentle half smile of awareness. The awareness that we are alive. We have many conditions of happiness in the here and now. And that smile that gives us a sense of well-being, of happiness. And become aware of the whole body, just relaxing the whole body. The top of the head to the toes, feeling a sense of ease. And feeling a sense of stillness. And as we do this, we're able to touch that miracle, the miraculous nature of our body, of life, the here and now. And we can become aware of different parts of our body. Maybe starting with our eyes. As we breathe in, we become aware of our eyes. As we breathe out, we can smile to our eyes. Eyes that allow us to see the beauty of nature, trees, of flowers, of birds, colors, forms. It's said that 80% of our perception comes through our eyes. And with this awareness, we bring that awareness to our eyes and feel a sense of gratitude to our eyes. Bring an awareness to our ears. Hear the sounds. We were hearing Sister Chan Khong just now. And because some technological problem, we can't hear her. This 83-year-old teacher offering her heart, offering her wisdom, offering her voice. And we can hear it because of our ears. You can hear singing with the ears. You can hear the sound of rain.
I smile to the world, and the world smile to me. I smile to the child that crosses my way. I remember also on those who are hungry, those who live in misery all over the planet, who have to face the war, who lost their mother. If sometimes my smile is moistened by tears, when I see the great pain that spread over the world, I still be smiling with tears in my eyes, smiling to life, smiling to death. And one day will come when it is bitterly cold, when even my footsteps will not leave any mark. The never-ending current of life's energy will carry me along, and I will not look back. The fear will no longer block my way. My heart finally opens very wide. Then I will become the smile of the earth, of the flower, of the sun, of the wind and the rain. And one day, perhaps, in a very small child. I will open my eyes to the wonders of life, and a little more loving, and a little more smiling. I will continue this wonderful way. Dear friends, that is a good way that we just appear in life for a while, dancing, flying, and doing great things together, and then disappear, pretend to disappear, but appear again and again, dancing, flying, offering many flowers to life. And when conditions are no longer sufficient, we pretend to die, but we appear again and again and again. So nowadays, in the COVID time, I would like to tell you something very important. That is very good moment for us to stop, because everybody, the whole world is stopping. Nobody knows what happened next. Could happen very, very fast next to you or far away. So we just stop. And I remember that the word stop, in Vietnamese tradition, when you are a teacher and when you pass away, people used to put you in the stupa, and in the stupa, and it's a stupa of many great master, Buddhist master. But Thầy said that you should not make any stupa for me. And it's true, there is one disciple of him who make a beautiful stupa for him, saying that it's reserved for my teacher. But because I have a big now, can you hear me?
Yes.
Now
Yes.
I have a terminal disease. Con phải tắt cái này này con tắt nếu mà I have a terminal disease, and I pass away, and people put me in the stupa. I will not very good student. I have to make a stupa for my teacher first. And Thầy said, no, I will not be in the stupa. You put it in front of the stupa. Inside of the stupa, there is nothing. And outside of the stupa, there is nothing. If there is something, it's your mindful breath, your compassionate breath. You train yourself to stop when you are agitated by strong emotion, and look deeper and have more positive thing, friendship, brotherhood, sisterhood with other people around you. And that worth for me to be there in the stupa as well, in the tree, on the flower, on the pebble, on everything you met. If you want to meet Thich Nhat Hanh with me, you just stop and you look deeper and you look, enjoy your breath and see the brotherhood in her, sisterhood in her, brotherhood in her and in him. And if she was naughty, or he's so bad, try to release it. Try to release the Angulimala in him or in her, because everyone have Angulimala, but everyone have also a Buddhahood in him or in her. And so try to release the Angulimala part of your bad friend or bad colleague, and then have more understanding, understand her deeper, understanding him deeper, and see the Angulimala part, but see the Buddha part in her and in him. And then you release and you have more brotherhood. And you can see Thich Nhat Hanh. Wherever you can stop and release your irritation, your anger, and let go. And that's a positive thing in other person. And try to say that, that Angulimala part in him, but also Angulimala part in me. I let go. And I only try to be in touch with the Buddha in me and the Buddha in him or in her. And then brotherhood and sisterhood will be established without any effort. So that I on that part, I want to tell you that nowadays I practice a lot on that. I always say that you know Angulimala? Angulimala is a man in India, in the time Buddha believed that if he can kill a lot of people and he will be enlightened. That is a wrong perception. And nobody at that time asked him to be sure. Are you sure? And so he believed in that way. But then when he approached the Sangha of the Buddha, Siddhartha, he think that, oh, this time I can kill a lot and I will be quicker and be enlightened. But when he tried to catch the Buddha, Siddhartha, he cannot. And Siddhartha pretend like to walk simply, relaxingly, but he cannot catch him. And he said, stop. And then the Buddha said that, I have stopped long time ago. It's you, Angulimala, who do not stop. And he said, you walk and you say that you stop. And I run after you, but then you say that I do not stop. And the Buddha said that I stop to do naughty thing. I stop to be so bad, so ugly, so cruel, and to cause so many suffering. But I stop that, and I touch the most wonderful thing in me, which is the nature of enlightenment in me. And everyone can be enlightened if they stop to do wrong thing, to do bad thing, to do ugly thing. And Angulimala said that, oh, it's too late. It's too late. And the Buddha said that, no, never too late. If you decide to stop today, everything will be clean right away. And he didn't believe, but no, he at the beginning he didn't believe, but finally he believed. He said that, are you sure? Even if I stop now, I will be clean. Again, he said, if you decide 100%, totally drop all your bad habit, your cruelty, things who make people suffer. And then he was shaved the head by the Buddha, and then he became Ahimsa. And Ahimsa is will not harm anyone. And are you sure that you determined to touch the Ahimsa in you, the Buddhahood in you? And he agreed. And from that time, he became so full of compassion and non-violent. And there are those who recognize that in the past, the past man, the past monk was Angulimala have killed people in the relative of those who met him. Said, oh, I have to retaliate, I have to beat him. And sometimes people beat him so much, but he become Ahimsa already. Even he know all the art of fighting, but he just let go and receive all the fruit of his bad habit. Okay, please beat me as much as you could so that you feel less unhappy and you have more friendship to those who practice. And from that day, and one day, there is a person who is deeply sick. And they said that people in the village, that this woman have been so sick for many days. And people say that only person who can save her is the Buddha Gautama. And people come to the Buddha Gautama and request. And the Buddha said that, no, ask Ahimsa to go and do it. And Ahimsa said, no, Buddha, I cannot, because I have killed so many people. And the Buddha said that, no. Have you been, when you become Ahimsa, have you killed anyone? Have you been naughty to anyone? No, when I become Ahimsa, I try no harming anyone. And the Buddha said that, in that case, try. And he came to that person who is deeply sick. He put his hand, he said that, since I am born, I never harm anyone. And born, it means born as Ahimsa, as a new person who decided to stop all the cruelty. And when he declared like that, the woman was liberated. Her disease is gone so fast. And people was amazed. And that is the story of Angulimala. But I think that in each of us, we have a lot of, some part of Angulimala here, some part of Angulimala in our business, some part of Angulimala in our relationship. So try to release that and touch the Buddha in you. And that is what I share. And there is also I would like to tell you that the 4 foundation of mindfulness, you are mindful of your body and the body, and then that part only already can help you a lot to relax for many days of work and stress. Let's say you have a number of work to do, and you have a number of responsibility at home to do, and you have a responsibility at your parents, aged parents who need your help, and you need to take care of your grandchildren who have some problem, and so many things. And in that case, you have to establish a kind of relationship with, and you have to realize your duty anyway. So you can make deep relaxation only 5 minutes every half hour or every 1 hour. So when, let's say in the morning, you have to wash your baby, and then you go to wash others' children, go to the day school, etc. And then after 3 hours of work, you are so exhausted. In that case, make a deep relaxation. Deep relaxation is, if you cannot lie down, normally a deep relaxation, you can lie down on your chair, or you can lie down on your bed. Do you still hear me? So you lie down on your bed, and then you relax, and you stop thinking and come back to your in breath, totally with your in breath, totally with your out breath, totally with your in breath, out breath. I calm every little part of my neuron on my head. I calm. Breathing out, I release tension. Now I calm my brain. Breathing out, I release tension on every of my neurons. Calming, releasing tension. Breathing in, I calm my face, my forehead, every cell of my face. Breathing out, I release tension on my forehead, on my eyelids, on every cell of my face. Breathing in, I calm from the top of my head to my face, to my neck, and along of my 2 shoulders, along of my 2 arms. Breathing out, I smile to every part of my head, my face, my shoulder, my arm. Breathing in, I bring my attention on my belly. In, out. I notice when I'm breathing in, my belly is rising or falling. I don't know. If you don't know either, try to notice. And if you bring your attention on the belly uprising, belly falling down, belly up, belly down, and for very short second, you sink into sleep, very deep sleep. And then only 3 minutes, Okay, we stand up and you continue your work. Your work is to bring the children to school, and you bring a friend to the station too, and you do another thing and other many important work. And after 3 hours again, find a place, sit down or lie down or lean down somewhere. And if you have no place, you just pull the chair next to the wall, and you lean on the chair and you would lean on the wall, and you practice again, calming, relaxing, and you refresh yourself for calming, relaxing until 5 minutes or 10 minutes. You fell into sleep, and then you resume your work again. So that I call deep, short, deep relaxation for cutting your busy day into many things. And especially when you are in COVID time and you are hurry and you forget to wear your mask, and then you have so many things to do, and then you are so hurry. In that case, just stop and do deep relaxation just for a few seconds, calming, relaxing, enjoying the present moment, calming, relaxing the neuron on your head, relaxing every wrinkle on your face, relaxing on your eyelid, relaxing your whole body, and then after that you feel fresh again, and you do it again your day. And that is but there is when the night where you cannot sleep at all, and when you cannot sleep, and then I propose that you lie down and you practice breathing in. You pay attention on your in breath, totally with your in breath, and totally with your out breath, totally with your in breath, totally with your out breath. And you put one hand on your abdomen, breathing in, breathing out, in totally with your in breath, totally with your out breath, in breath, out breath. Now observe your abdomen, your belly, to see whether when you breathe in, it will be rising or falling. Abdomen rising, abdomen falling, belly rising, belly falling, rising and falling. And now I send my love to my heart. My heart start to work by itself alone when I was born from the womb of my mom. In the past, it's mom who breathed for me, but now, since I was born, my heart have to squeeze and send the blood into my body, and my heart works so hard for me, 24 hours per day. I have the night to sleep, but the day to work. But my heart works 24 hours, day and night. But I never pay attention to my heart. Oh, my darling heart. I let go my anger, my worries, my anxiety. Let go all my work, my business, in order to be totally in peace, in love with my heart. I let go all my irritation, my worries, my anxiety. Breathing out, I smile to my heart with love. How wonderful that I can breathe in totally and feel my lung. So wonderful. There are those who have asthmatic and they cannot breathe properly. But I see those who are dying, COVID or other disease, they cannot breathe and they pass away. But I can breathe in, feel my lung, so wonderful. And my eyes, I need to open my eyes. I can see the universe of form and color. And my two eyes are more precious than any diamond, any treasure. I will not exchange my eyes with anything. And my ear, my nose, my tongue, all are treasure. I will not exchange my eyes to anything. I will not exchange my two arms to anything. I will not exchange my two legs to anything. And my two legs are treasure. And in the Diamond Sutra, the Buddha said, you are so rich with so many treasures, but you didn't know. Châu báu chất đầy thế giới, tôi đem tặng bạn sáng nay. Một vóc kim cương sáng chói, long lanh suốt cả đêm ngày. If you are aware, if you are mindful, and you see that you are extremely wealthy, your two eyes are more precious than any diamond, your ear, your face, your heart, your lung, so wonderful. But you complain that, oh, I'm so sad, I'm angry with my daughter, or yeah, your daughter is also a treasure because you don't know how to handle, and you handle unskillfully, and you make her a little bit like a troublemaker. But in fact, if you are calm, you look deeper and you see all the value of her, and you appreciate, oh, that's so wonderful like that, and then she will change. He will change. Your son will change also. A naughty person, if you know how to touch the most sensitive, fragile, but important, happy point of her, of him, and he will be happy, she will be happy, and she become a treasure for you. So I also want to share the touching of after deep relaxation like that. People will sleep, and I will sing some song for sleeping. Okay, I'll sing a song before I start to touching your root as a tree, your inner being. Yeah. Go to sleep, little darling. May the angel behold you and carry you to the land of peace, of love and joy. Tomorrow, your mother will smile sweetly to you and will ask, little darling, do you know I love you? Le soleil s'est enfui, mais dans l'ombre, regarde chaque étoile de la nuit est un coin du paradis. Si j'en crois ce qu'on dit, ce royaume enchanté ne peut être habité que par les tout petits. Oh, thông dong mà từng bước thông dong. Thiên đường mà trên lối con. Mà cửa không mà ta bước vào. Yes. Bon, that is the morning already. You can wake up, and then I can tell you how to touch your root. Normally, if you walk without being mindful, you think that, oh, you work in order to arrive to the bus station or to arrive to your car, but you don't walk mindfully. And if you walk mindfully, you see that you touch the feet on the wonderful planet, and like you are kissing the whole planet Earth. And you touch and you look deeper and you see that another step, it will be not only you touch the planet, but your mom also touch the planet. Your daddy also touch the planet. Your ancestor, grandpa, great-grandpa, and then your blood ancestor are touching the planet Earth lovingly, happily, and mindfully. And then you walk for a while and you feel that everything is so peaceful. And if one day you are overwhelmed by so many work, so many responsibility, and you think that, oh, and you are carrying a lot of luggage and you cannot let go, and you say that, okay, let the Buddha walk. Let the Buddha walk for you, not you, but the Buddha Gitu, not the busy Gitu, but let the Buddha Gitu walk. So calming, smiling, and so the Buddha Gitu is walking relaxingly. Suddenly you forget that you have a lot of things to carry. Suddenly you feel that, oh, you have to rush, but you do like that. You arrive anyway, but you arrive happily, joyfully, because you walk with the feet of your father, mother, ancestor, the blood ancestor, but also you walk with the feet of your land ancestor. Land ancestor are Gandhi, many great men and women of India, or of your country. If your country is not India, you are walking with the feet of great men and women of your country. And so we call a land ancestor. And then you also can walk this third step. Third phase is you walk with the spiritual feet of your spiritual ancestor. So spiritual ancestor could be, for me, is my good friend when before I met Thầy, before I met wonderful people, but I have some anger with my family, with my sister who beat me a lot unfairly, and then I'm so angry. But a good friend of me take my hands and then, oh, let's have a walk together. Oh, calming, smiling, look at the river. The trees are so green on the river bank, and the water is so wonderful. Look, and then we walk, calming. At that moment, nobody teach me about walking meditation, but she really walking with me with her friendship. She become my first spiritual friend. And then one day she gave me a book about taming the tiger in me. It's a book of anger of Thich Nhat Hanh, but taming the tiger in you. It means that your tiger in you is your anger, your madness. And then when you are so mad, so angry, you don't know how to tame your tiger, and the tiger will eat you. And it means you, with your unskillfulness, your violence, you kill yourself by that madness. And so she give you that book and you read and you say that, oh, it's so powerful and so helpful. And so the author of that book will be your spiritual second friend. And then slowly you read life of many great people like Mahatma Gandhi, like many great women and great men in the world, and you feel very filled with their greatness, their beauty, and they are your spiritual ancestor. And then, but many Western friends or new young friends told me, sister, I cannot think of any goodness in my parents. And when I think of them, I want to die. I want to kill myself. And so in that case, I have to say that because sometimes tragedy in the family is countless. So I say that in that case, when you stand up, you feel that your mom, the wonderful mother, alive in you, the wonderful father, is in my case. But in her case, she was abused sexually by her cousin and her uncle, etc. So I said that in that case, when you touch the earth first, you lie down on earth, and you know that you pour on earth. If you pour urine, you pour excrement, or you pour milk, and you pour wonderful thing, and the land will absorb and will give wonderful spring to you. Even bad excrement is will become also wonderful green spring. But even deho, it means kind of milk, very good. They feed the Buddha when he was so sick, and then also would give also wonderful spring. So we pour on earth every bad thing of your father, of your mom, of your grandpa, of your grandma, of your adult who abuse you and unfair to you. And when you feel that I am pouring excrement of my father give to me, and then it will be absorbed, and then after that you stand up. After you feel that all the excrement are gone, all the urine, all the bad thing are gone, then you stand up. Now I only keep the wonderful things in my father. And sometimes someone have problem with her father or her mom, but she only think that her father is that problem, her mom is that problem. But she forget that she had the big brain of the father. The father was a very good businessman. Even he had some weakness when he go home with some drink, and he beat his wife and he beat the children, but in a good. And so that young man or this young woman, she also have the big brain of good business, and she owned 2 big business, and she didn't know that it's thanks to her father. So I said that you should to be fair. You put on earth everything you hate in your father, your mom, your grandpa, but when you stand up, you keep everything wonderful. And it's not easy, but if every day you train, every day I train and I enumerate a number of good quality of my father, but tomorrow I find other quality. And then when I lie down on earth, I put a number of bad character of my father or my mom, and I have a happy family. So I think that I have nothing bad to pour on earth. But slowly with the training, I discover a number of weakness of my father, my mom in me. Weakness, but I mean, forgivable. Like I always like, even I'm vegetarian, even I do not eat fish and meat, but when I have a tofu piece, I always choose the best tofu piece. So I said that is the gourmand, greedy part of my father that I have to let go, and to respect people for that, let them to choose the best piece of tofu and so on. So it means every day you train to feel your mom alive with her beauty, her greatness, your daddy alive with your greatness, and your grandpa and your great grandpa, and a number of quality that you don't see in them, but maybe many generations before. And when you put down on earth, you put everything you don't like. And that in Buddhism, we call the ending of the samsara circle. Samsara is suffering circle. But suffering, it means you are alcoholic and you drink and you cannot abandon. And then when you are drunk, you beat your wife, you shout your children, and you beat your children. But then when you grow up, then you hate that character of your father. But when you grow up, you have a wonderful family, and you think that you will never be like your father, and some accident happen, and then you have some difficulty in your business, and then you have some drink in order to forget, and second cup and third cup, and finally you repeat the same mistake than your father and your mom. And that is, if you touch earth, you will stop that circle of samsara. When you start to drink, you say that that is the circle of samsara that my father, when he drank at the second or the third cup, he started to shout at us, beat us, shout at mom, make a war with everyone in the family. So you end the circle of samsara. That's the first touching of the earth. The second is the land ancestor. So like I told you, you have many land and men and women. But in Vietnam, I feel, I look deeper, I see that my land ancestors are also the alluvion, a kind of very good dust carried by the water, very rich dust. And in the delta, I was born in the delta of the big river Mekong. And on that delta, there's so many good fruit garden. And every tree gives thousands of fruit. And thanks to the generosity of the land of that delta of Mekong. And then I see a number of men and women who are also very generous, my land ancestors, and many land ancestors in the south, to the central, to the north. In the North Vietnam, in the center of Vietnam, there are those who are very rigid, very correct, very wonderful, but too hard. But in the south, very easy. And so I learned, I absorb everything of my land ancestor, wonderful thing. And then I pour on earth discrimination, racism, many like people of color can pour on earth a lot of racism that their ancestors have received, and now they carry a lot. But don't think that only the white people, the Caucasian people are racist to you. You even color people. We are also, that's it too. We are also, as soon as we see a white people, we feel very allergic right away. And so that is a kind of seed of racism too. So we have to learn to consider Angulimala and the Buddha in you are equal. But you only need to be mindful to switch Angulimala away a bit and to bring Buddha in you more alive. And by doing that, you see that the weakness and beauty are very limited, and very only mindfulness can help you to make grow the beautiful part of your mind, of your body. And so the second touching of the earth, of the land ancestor, and the third touching of the earth is the spiritual ancestor. And like I told you, the first friend who bring you out of your anger for a war and have ice cream party, and then you feel so good, and then she gives you the book Life of Gandhi, or Life of Saint Francis of Assisi. He said is a holy person in Christianity, and the life of Mother Teresa, life of many wonderful women in the East, and so you can learn a lot, and you feel that each of them are so inspiring for you, and so they are like your spiritual ancestor. Mahatma Gandhi, of course, is your land ancestor, but there are many wonderful men and women who inspire your life, are also your spiritual ancestor. So you feel God in you, Mahatma Gandhi is in you, Buddha Siddhartha is in you, every wonderful man and woman in you. And then you lie down on earth and you see that you are the Mother Earth, generous, very generous, very embracing everything. And it's so wonderful. And so that is three main touching of the earth. At the end, I will reserve about 10 minutes to help you to really practice, because I need you every morning to spend 5 minutes only to touch the earth in order to enrich your day mindfully right away. So the first one is your blood ancestor, your father, your mom, with on the good thing and on the bad thing. The bad thing, you touch the earth first, you pour everything bad. You stand up, you feel everything great, good in him. Second root is land ancestor. It could be the rich land as well as a rich man and woman who are very correct, very beautiful, very and inspire you. And then you pour on earth everything, dictatorship and corruption, and you put on earth. And the third root is a spiritual family, and it depends on you. You have which family you are Hinduist, you are Brahman, you are Buddhist, you are a human being simply, but you choose what is the best for you, and then you feel that you are inhabited by that great energy. And that great energy, people can call God in Christianity or in Judaism, or but in us, in Buddhism, I call that is a Buddha in me. And the Buddha in me, if I cultivate every day, the tiny Buddha will become growing every day. And that should be done every day. Every morning, it takes you only 10 minutes or 5 minutes. You stand up, you feel your mother alive, your father alive, your grandpa alive, all that wonderful thing. And you touch the earth, you put everything you hate. And the second part, you speak about the land ancestor, and the third, spiritual ancestor. And after touching these three roots, you are so rich. What you do with all your wealth, you send to the person you love. So let's say you have a mother who is sick, and you cannot say that, oh, God, please relieve, help my mom. Or Amita Buddha, please help my mom. For me, I don't feel that logic. For me, when you feel that your ancestor is alive in you, all these great men and women, blood family are alive in you. And there are those who have longevity, very generous, very great. And you live, your land ancestor is alive in you. And your spiritual ancestor is alive in you. You feel Mahatma Gandhi, you feel Thich Nhat Hanh, Martin Luther King, all these great men and women alive in you. And then you send your good energy to your mom who is sick. Mom, you have received very soon the energy of God, the energy of Mahatma, the energy of great grandpa, so on. So for me, that is more practical, because I'm very, very practical. I don't like, oh, Namo Amita Buddha, please help my mom. Too light and too superficial. I will not agree. And so I feel that if I have the energy of God in me, of the Buddha in me, of all the great men and women in me, and my ancestors in me, I will send to her, and she will receive. And so the last touching of the earth is then you hate somebody so much, hate to the extent that when you think of him or her, you want to vomit, because she was so bad, so abusive, so terrible for you. In that case, you touch the earth. After receiving a lot of energy from your three main roots, blood ancestor, land ancestor, spiritual ancestor, and then you send that energy to that person. Oh, poor Angulimala, you do not kill people like Angulimala, but you did kill people with your word. Sometimes you are so cruel to us, and so on. But may the goodness, the light, the peace, the understanding in my spiritual ancestor will neutralize your poison, and may you be safe, you'll be neutralized. And by doing so, I don't know if that person will receive, but you receive right away. Because if you hate somebody, when you wake up, he's far away, but in your heart it's burning, it's suffering. And so right away you touch the fifth touching of the earth, you release your anger, your irritation, you let go, and you may send the good energy of your spiritual ancestor to remove the bad, the dirty thing in him and in her, and you will see it helpful a lot. Yeah, that is. But the sixth touching of the earth, and you touch the ultimate dimension. Ultimate dimension is mean what? You are in this world. There is me, there is Shantam, there is Gitu, there is Mina, there is many. But we are different. But in fact, looking deeply, we are one. We belong to one great Mother Earth. We belong to great togetherness. And we pretend, according to condition, we pretend to be born in India, born in Vietnam, born in Thailand, but we are one. And when conditions are sufficient, you are born in that part of the planet called India. And you grow up like a Brahman, but when conditions are no longer sufficient, you even Brahman, you will die. But you touch the ultimate dimension, and next time, maybe you born in the body of an untouchable person, and then you grow up, and then you make your life, and when conditions are no longer sufficient, and you pretend to die. So, but with mindfulness, you can choose your life. When conditions are no longer sufficient, you will end that life, but you will see. I think that, do you want to try now? Try about 5 or 10 minutes, and then we pass another. How many minutes is remain to us?
We have 20 minutes more, so we can do this. Yes, and then there's some questions also for you, Sister Chan Khong. So you see how you feel, whether you want to.
Okay. So maybe that's enough for today, and then you try your best to. If no, I think that in YouTube sometimes you ask deep relaxation, touching the earth of Sister Chan Khong. It has been done in YouTube too.
Yes.
Because I didn't know that people like my deep relaxation a lot. That in Vietnam, more than 2 million of people listen to me, but only those who see me about few 100,000. But because they listen to YouTube, and also some film like Phiêu Bồng. It was a film by Hong Kong, and they make five stage in the village, and there is one only about in me about deep relaxation and practicing a number of Himalaya movement, etc. So, but they like deep relaxation a lot. So now we let you to ask question, okay? So that we have more time together, as we have 20 minutes more.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much, Chan Khong. And we have many questions, and I think maybe Gitu will ask the question on behalf of people, because people have put it on the chat. Gitu or Manish will do that. Is that okay?
Yes.
You said that people are pulling a chat. It means what? It means so many questions.
They type the question. It's called a chat, and so the question will be repeated by Gitu or Manish. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Sister Chan Khong. Thank you so much for a wonderful talk. The first question is, sometimes one feels that all is lost. How does one bring one's enthusiasm back for life and for the practice?
Okay, I have now a short memory, so I would like to answer right away in order for the next question I will not forget. So sometimes you feel, you repeat again, sometimes
one feels that all is lost. How does one bring one's enthusiasm back for life and for the practice?
So if you feel like that, it's normal, because everything is impermanent. So you feel that you are full, but then when 3 hours later you are no longer full and you are hungry again. So that moment you feel that you are totally lost and nothing left to you. Don't be worried. You said that is impermanent. I first I do that deep relaxation first in order to let lost. So I sleep, and I sleep forever in order to end my enthusiasm. But after sleeping, and then you wake up and you're full of enthusiasm, and then you start to be like reborn again. And waking up this morning, I see the blue sky. I see how life is wonderful. Oh, I still have 2 eyes and I can see the blue sky. But there are so many people who cannot see the blue sky. And then I join my hand to think how life is wonderful. Sunshine is so good. And rain is so wonderful too. And everything is so wonderful. You see the wonderful side and you see that it's not so bad. And that is when conditions are no longer sufficient, you just practice like I sang the song. Châu báu chất đầy thế giới. The universe is full of jewels. I would like to offer to you. Your 2 eyes are 2 jewels. You think that you feel lost, and if somebody took out your 2 eyes, you are happy or you are worse. So you wake up and you feel that you are totally lost and you are empty and nothing. But châu báu chất đầy thế giới, you still have 2 wonderful eyes, more precious than any diamond. And then you still have a body, you can walk. You do not like those who are cut by their leg. Yeah, so many handicapped people. Nowadays, even in Vietnam, the war stopped. But I met with so many handicapped of the war, and still there are people who are the mind who not explode. I also joined the group of those who explode the mind, and they do very meticulous work. So there's so many interesting things to do, and so wonderful things. So just say that impermanent. I will let the low part will die down, and then I will have optimistic way again. And I remember that I still have a lot of treasure. My eyes, my ear, my nose, my arm, my leg, my so on. My knowledge, my heart. Okay. Next question.
Dear Suko Chan Khong, wonderful to see you. I always enjoyed your total relaxation session with your relaxing songs. In your book, Total Relaxation, you mentioned the Kayagata Sati Sutra for scanning the body. There are 32 parts of the body to scan. Generally, people do not feel comfortable to visualize the bile, phlegm, pus, blood, sweat, fat, saliva, mucus, and urine. How do you guide people in total relaxation to make them feel relaxed with those parts as well?
You know, you don't need to do everything. If you want to relax, just to relax. And then you pass the most wonderful thing like your eyes, your ear, you do. But urine is also wonderful in its part. Without urine, if you cannot urinate, you will see. It's a big problem. So you have to remember that there's day where there are people who cannot urinate and they have to take Lasix and a number of medicine and in order to urinate. And urine is not bad. And some people in Asia, not in Vietnam, but I learned in some countries, they also heal themselves by drinking urine too, in order to heal a number of diseases. I don't know, kind of mineral that the urine eliminate, but other part of the body do need, and they also heal. So I mean, in other controversial way to see that you urinate is not, but flame and other thing is also okay. That we need. We have food and we need to have excrement. Without excrement, it's not good either. If you eat all the good food and no excrement, it will be a big problem too. And so the other part of reality that you accept, and if you can make use of the excrement, there is some part of the planet they use excrement in order to fertilize many tree or many plant. They do not abandon everything. And so if I have that deep look, then I can look at my flame, my excrement, my urine with love, with care, with thank too. Okay, next question.
When it feels like, when it feels like there's a choice to be made between one's self-esteem and keeping compassion for the one I'm with, how does one take care of both these goals?
It means some we have the tendency to have low self-esteem or self-esteem. And then other part is what? Can you repeat
the other
again?
part is keep compassion for the one I'm with. So a choice between keeping one's self-esteem high and keeping compassion for the one I'm with. How does one take care of both these goals?
One and with mean what?
The person they're with is making them suffer. So they have their own self-esteem, but the person who is causing them suffering is with them. So how to make the choice?
And how to show compassion to that person?
You know, there is one practice that we call begin anew. I have written into a book already, but I not published. It means that person you feel that you don't feel to live with at all, and many couples about to be divorced, but they make the begin anew. And according to my proposal, sometimes I do it in the front of many hundred people, a couple about to be divorced. So I asked the woman, why you choose that man before you marry him, and not other men? Why? And then you commit your life with such a wonderful such man, and now you want to divorce him. So I didn't know that now you want to divorce him, but tell me. And she tried, because it's the first time. She never think of in her head that she have to think a quality of him. And she said that, oh, I think that he was not handsome, but he is a kind of gentleman, very fine. And then she's surprised that she had seen that, but she never said to him. And he was so surprised to hear that my wife about to be divorced me, but at any price. But now she said that I was so gentleman and so nice, and so she because I forced him, tell me why you are so ignorant to marry him, why you agreed. And finally, and then she tried to find why, and so many qualities she started to tell. So I propose that when you have that person that you don't want to live with, try to think a number of positive things, 2 positive things, 3 positive things. But now you do not have seen that. In that case, you start by, but when you are so angry with him and you are low, high self-esteem, and you say, he's not worth to live with me. And then you try to see a number of quality, a number of esteem in him. But, and then you start to say that, let's say his name is Henry, for instance. Dear Henry, I remember that I was so shocked and impressed by your gentleness and by what you have done and what you have done and what you have done. That is the first step to do. Try to see the beauty, the positive part of the person that you do not understand and estimate at all. And so try to see the positive part and say it loudly in front of him. That's the first step. Secondly, you remember that a number of mistakes you have done for you is nothing, but maybe it hurt him. And so you said that yesterday, well, in front of your sister, I did correct you in a very, it's too quick way, I forget, but I did too quick way, and I feel maybe it hurt you. So please forgive me for that. You apologize, ask him to forgive you. And then you see a number of mistake things. And you said, okay, I will decide to do that begin anew in order to quit him or quit her. But after you appreciate a number of things in front of him or in front of other person, that person was so moved. And then they changed. They changed, and you will not recognize the same person. That happened to many couples when I begin anew. When he said, my wife have seen a lot of a lot of esteem to me, gentleman in me, he didn't know, because sometimes, I don't know if Indian men or other countrymen, but Vietnamese men always forget to tell great thing of his woman. And when he's not very happy, he said it very loudly. And then he was so moved by what she said. And then he said, well, but you see, what I see is so clear. But then she said, the way I educate my family, my brother in the countryside, my young brother in the countryside just come to Hanoi, and I just buy the motorbike for him, just a few thousand dong. But she said, no, a coffee shop in front of our house, students have to work from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. in order to earn such amount of money. And your young brother have to work in the coffee house like that for a few months before he see the value. And after that, you buy the motorbike for him. But if she do like that, the quarrel is not so bad, because she said, no, don't buy. Coffee shop is like this. Ask him to do. And the husband said, why you are so stingy? Why you are so bad to my brother? In our bank account, you know how much we have? Million of dong. And now I only ask for 800,000 and you don't want. And then why you are so stingy? You are no value. Because when you are angry, you speak too loudly, and then it makes him more and more ugly. Normally he's not ugly, but because you water the ugliness in him by telling bad thing. And so the person that you feel that he's not at your level, because you only tell bad thing. And then because you water the bad seed in him, and so the excrement seed have the chance to manifest. But if you only water the rose seed in him, the fragrant flower seed in him, and then he will be wonderful. So it's the same person. But if you begin anew, you try to see the value. And there is many cases, that is case of a couple, but case of a woman who decide to abandon her job because the boss is so bad. And she said that, but if I abandon my job, I lose my salary, but then I have to travel 3 hours to come to the place in order to work. But I said that in that case, you try to see a number of value in your boss. She said, oh, she's ugly like a soccer. I cannot appreciate anything. But then even that, she tried. So one day she see that woman, boss in the office, wear a beautiful blue dress. And she said, you look so nice in that dress. And she make an effort, because normally she hate her a lot. But it's true, that day when she wear that blue dress, she look nicer. And so she said, you look so nice. And then suddenly that woman transformed totally. Sure? You think that it's okay? I wear that. Oh, thank you so much. And then she said that the relation become warmer. And then at coffee house, coffee time, she said, you like coffee or tea? I will take coffee for me, and maybe I think that you like tea. Okay, so they get tea, and then they drink tea relaxingly, and then that woman almost really reveal a number of tragedy in her family, and she suffered because there's so many hidden tragedy in her family. So your friend, next door friend, or your partner, maybe he have a number of difficulty that you have no time, because you have a good job, he have a good job, everyone have earn a lot of money, and you have no time to listen to each other. And that is why this number of hidden wounds in him who have been buried, and hidden wound in you. He hurt you, you bury until the day you say that he is no value at all, and she is no value at all. But in fact, if you know how to handle water, because there is Buddha in him, there is Angulimala in him, there is Buddha in her, Angulimala in her, you handle, begin a new 4 step. Watering the flower, apologizing, asking to forgive you for that, and then tell your hurt without condemning, without judging. The other day when I asked, I was about to buy the motorbike for my young brother from the countryside. You say in so violent way, and I cannot understand. Normally, you are very generous, and your parents come, my parents come to Singapore, you came and to take care of everything. You're so generous. And then she said, because you didn't know my family, it's the way my family trained my father trained her children, his children, and his daughter and son. When everyone want to buy a car or a motorbike and everything, he's ready to give, but he don't give right away. He said, let you try to work and ask someone to do a number of work, so hard work, but very, very heavy work, and you earn very little money. And when he give you such amount of money, you will be very grateful. So that is the same for the 4 step. First step, watering the flower, apologizing, request to forgive, and appreciating. Appreciating is the first, forgive, and ask, did I hurt you without knowing? Tell me. And because the other day, maybe I hurt you without knowing, please tell me, but tell in the gentle way. Please don't say that, oh, it's already the past, forget. No, you should not leave things, the hurt in the past to be buried. You have to unearth. But in the peaceful moment, when you unearth that wound, you unearth in a very delicate way, very nice way. You said that the other day when I mentioned like that, I remember how my father had been generous to etc. and how a number of background in order to give the money to the young brother from the countryside. And when she listened like that, and she will explain in her way, and then both of you have two good perception who want to bring happiness, but happiness in two different ways, but you are fighting because of that. And so Begin Anew is so important. The book Begin Anew is available in Parallax Press, and you read and it will be helpful. Thank you. So it's time or another question? It's depend.
I think it's time. I will invite the bell, and then I would like to close with just 2 minutes. There. Yeah, Gitu?
I just wanted to say, our friends on YouTube have a few questions. So is it possible to take one more question, Suko? Are you okay about that from the YouTube friends?
Yes? Okay.
Thank you.
From the youth friend.
YouTube. There are lots of friends who are watching this on YouTube who are not on the Zoom chat. So Manish, would you like to ask the question, please, on behalf of...
Yeah, here is the question. Sometimes it seems like I'm just ignoring my suffering by going back to my breath and quietening my mind. So how do I look deeply to understand?
In fact, you have to like ignore, but you should not ignore. It means if you are suffering more, you think more, you are like you use a knife to steer your wound. It's not good. So when you are suffering, try to go back to your in breath and out breath, and calming, releasing tension, calming, releasing tension. When you walk to your train station or your car or your bus, calming, releasing tension, and you spend half hour, 1 hour. And if the pain is still there, it come back. You say that I will come back to my pain. I will not ignore my pain, but I need to have more peace. I need to be more equipped with some weapon, even from skillful instrument who help me to take care of you, my pain. And that case, if you feel that the pain is still very strong and you do not see any way out, don't think that you ignore, but you calming, relaxing, releasing tension. Because when your mind of the pawn of your mind is still, is reflect the whole sky of full moon, of pine tree, of everything. But if your pawn of mind are stirred, you try to think you're suffering, more you think, more you get confused. And sometimes you can be pushed to make a solution what is wrong, a solution who can lead you to something worse. So never act when you are not peaceful, and you calm yourself. You do not ignore. You say that, but you do not ignore, but you should not think about. You say that, no, I'm not strong enough. I need to be better equipped before I deal with you, my pain. And before I deal with you, my pain. And then it's come up anyway. Oh, she betrayed me. She do like that. You say, okay, I will come back. But I need to act skillfully to the fact that she or he have to accept my proposal and my solution. And so you don't ignore. You just calm. You say that I need to be equipped. I need to be in order to make a cake. I need to be equipped with some instrument in order to be able to make a cake. I cannot just make a cake by my mouth. So it's the same. Don't think that you ignore your pain, but you try to have more peace in order to be equipped, in order to respond to the situation with skillfulness, with stillness, with beauty. Okay.
Thank you so much, Sister Chan Khong. I think the seed of Guan Yin or Avalokiteshvara has been watered a lot in Sister Chan Khong. I think she's in a way a living bodhisattva. I've known her for more than 30 years. And even before she became a nun, actually she was Chipung. And then on Vulture Peak, where the Buddha's favorite meditation place, she was ordained by Thai in 1988 and became the first and the senior most now nun and monastic in the order of Interbeing and Thai's order. And since then they were, Chan Khong and Thai very kindly invited me to Plum Village, and I could see she was the mother of Plum Village, now the grandmother. And you know, she has great organizational skills, but also that deep compassion. And it's combined, and the way Thich Nhat Hanh is known in the world is so much to do with Sister Chan Khong. You know, Thai sometimes is a little shy, little hermit-like. You know, he'd prefer to drink his tea and write his book. And Sister Chan Khong knows what he's sharing is important for the world. And then over time, Sister Chan Khong has developed into this great teacher herself, as we've heard today. We are so grateful to you, Sister Chan Khong, for giving your time, your energy. I know that you know you're in a difficult time, and all of us are, especially in this COVID time. But I think what you're offering us is the food of joy, of the Dhamma, of liberation, which has come from our land. And you're bringing it back in a way which we can take into our families, into our lives. So please come again. Whenever you can give us time, we would love to have you. And I know the Indian Sangha would love to. And I have friends in America who are writing saying, oh, Sister Chan Khong, I don't mind waking up at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, because she's going to come on. So you have a big fan club, and it's a global fan club. And I think the more you can do this, this would be wonderful. But we don't want to be greedy. And I know you have other things to do and you gave us this much time. So please give our deep bows to Thai and to the whole community, Tihu, our root temple. This is where Thai grew up. And now Sister Chan Khong is taking care of him with other sisters and brothers. And we wish all our greatest heartfulness that Thai is well. And to you, Sister Chan Khong, you are precious. You are precious to all of us. So please stay well and stay happy. Yeah.
I feel humble what you said, but do you have 5 minutes in order for me to share my prayer every day for Thai? But
yes.
it's a little bit funny. But
no, we have we have all the time for you.
When you sit down quietly, I invite Avalokiteshvara in me, because in me, like I start to say that we have Angulimala, also Avalokiteshvara, also Siddhartha Buddha. So I invite Avalokiteshvara in me. And Avalokiteshvara means listening to the suffering. So I try to listen to different part of my body to suffer, or a little bit, I'm sick here bodily, I am a little bit worried, other thing. So I remove that in order I really become a kind of energy of light, peace, love, deep listening, and try to help. So my Avalokiteshvara will fly up to next to Thai hut, because Thai hut is only a few hundred meters from where I stay now. And then there I see that, oh, there's so many Avalokiteshvara, because maybe Shantam, maybe Gitu, many other friends who send good energy of Avalokiteshvara to Thai. So I said, oh, last night I see so many thousand of Avalokiteshvara of friends around the world who send to Thai. And so Thai is surrounded by so many Avalokiteshvara, and it helped the Avalokiteshvara in him fly up. And he said, oh, great. Now we are going to visit a number of friends who have COVID, because Thừa Thiên is the province where they live. There is no COVID yet. And then overwhelmed by a lot of victims of COVID in Da Nang, a victim of Quảng Trị, a victim of a few hundred, not a few hundred, even 100 kilometers far away. So Thầy said, let us go and visit and clear their disease. And then I see Thầy, oh, Thầy is like a floating ocean of understanding and love, and go and he is a real social worker, because social worker try to help people to suffer. So he's trying to visit, and I am another social worker, and all of you will be social worker, follow Thầy and go and clean, and then clear up a number of disease in that province and other province and other provinces. So that night, the night before yesterday night, I remember having seen in the news that the 2 biggest rivers of China have been overflow and the dam have been broken, and then 15 million of people are drowning and don't know where to live. And I said, let's go to China to help them too. And so we all fly floating Avalokiteshvara, go and save. And we know that we cannot save 15 million of victims. But according to Buddhism of interbeing, you have been following 10 courses with Shantam, a lot of interbeing, a lot of interconnectedness. And then, so those who have closer karma, light karma, like Thầy, like all of us, they are we save. Those who are heavier, they cannot be saved. We cannot save all. but at least quite a lot have been saved. And I said, oh, great. The floating ocean of Avalokiteshvara is floating throughout Vietnam, and I'm going to China, and going to Thailand, and going to Malaysia, going to India, going to many other countries. And wherever we go, we try to float and to bring a lot of lightness, of understanding and love. And bravo, the first social worker, Thich Nhat Hanh, who are leading us that night in my meditation. I have seen that, and I want to share to you. You can float with Thai and with all of us to visit a number of corners of those who suffer. Thank you.
Thank you, Chan Khong. Thank you for that. We, as you say, I always feel Chan Khong lives both in the ultimate dimension and the historical dimension at the same time. And that is a practice. How to live. We have a much more expanded consciousness than we are even capable of understanding. But how to live in both of these, to be practical and yet to be, in a way, transcendent of what is our idea of ourself. And this idea of non-self expands our consciousness to realize that we are the stars, the leaves, the floating Avalokiteshvara, and healing the world. So thank you so much. I also, if you don't mind, I want to, I don't know if the speaker's on me, but I would like to show you the book by Chan Khong. It's called Learning True Love. It's about her life story. And I think it's one of the most, can you see me? Or I don't know if you can see this. Oh, yeah. So this is, it's actually a bit of a page turner about a life of somebody who starts as a social worker and then really transforms into a spiritual bodhisattva. And I can attest to that since I've known her for many years as a friend. And also, it's not easy to get your way with her. She has, I mean, I remember she even shaved my head when I was, I think, trying to get a monk at one point. That one she didn't see. It helped when Gitu and I were getting married. She arranged everything. We asked and Thai, officiated. And then we were a bit embarrassed. We said to her, we don't, in India, we're very private. We don't like sharing our private vows with people openly like this. And she looked at us very gently and she said, I know. In Vietnam also people are like that. And it was such a compassionate, skillful way of saying, no way, you have to do it. So I always listen to her, and I will never, I feel very blessed that in this life we've got to know each other, just Chan Khong as friends, and you as my vice friend and teacher. So I'm going to invite 3 sounds of the bell, and then 1 half sound with the little bell to bow, and we can all collectively bow to Chan Khong and also offer our energy to Thai as he would be able to receive the collective healing of this community from India and around the world. So thank you again. And if you don't mind, I will invite 3 sounds of the bell and 1 half sound to bow out.
One last word.
Yes, please. You can have as many words.
Any Vietnamese among those who listen to me today? Because I want to inform that in Vietnam, my book, Learning True Love, have been transformed into 4 little books about my life, working for both people, my life working for refugees, my life against the war, my life with hungry children, and my love story, little love story, also everything in 60 years following Thich Nhat Hanh, and have been allowed to be published legally. And so you can ask 60 năm theo thầy học đạo. If you have Vietnamese friends, you say that they have to, it's much more complete than Learning True Love. Thank you.
And it's published in India also.
India already published?
Yeah, I think, but the earlier version, this version.
Yeah. Because that version is the earlier, the second version, there is my coming back to Vietnam too.
Okay.
In Learning True Love.
We will publish in India.
Yeah. Okay. But in Vietnam, it's amazing because it's something very sensitive with government of Vietnam, but they allow finally.
Wonderful.
Publish officially.
Yeah. So this is silent clapping. So to show appreciation, it's very nice always to do this. Yeah. So thank you, dear friends. The session was a little longer than normal, but it is very special to have Sister Chan Khong with us, and I feel that we're very blessed to have her energy and her teachings. It's like a stream of consciousness, just and it comes in different ways into our consciousness. So let's sit with what she's offered, and for those of us who are interested in the touching of the earth, that is available. You can do the meditation another time ourselves, or you can go to YouTube and probably find guided practice on that. So from Ahimsa Trust family, we are happy that you joined us. We are happy that you can stay with us, and we will have programs as and when quite regularly. So do write to us at ahimsa.trust@gmail.com if you want to be put on our mailing list. And then we can, that's ahimsa.trust@gmail.com. And then you can put you on a mailing list and tell you of different things that are happening, courses and teachings from the land of Mr. B, the Buddha. Thank you.